Okay, we are live. Hi everyone, welcome to the first Coffee and Commits. The purpose of this call is to provide you with an update on what's been happening at o1Labs as well as across the MENA ecosystem. This is intended to be a regular series of calls, so keep an eye out for call schedules on X, Telegram, and Discord. We'll be sharing more on that later. We have a pretty packed agenda today, so I'm going to go straight over to that. We have Deepthi, who will share a high-level update on some of the work that's been happening behind the scenes at O1. We have an update on the latest Mesa progress from Shami. We have Raf joining us to share the latest on Protokit. And we also have Florian, who's going to talk about the latest O1JS release, which includes the native prover, if you haven't already seen that on X this week. We'll wrap things up with a roundup of ecosystem updates from Haresh, and we also have Anthony from ZkNoid here to talk to us about their latest mainnet launch. Like I said before, this is the first Coffee and Commits in this series, so if there are other things that you want to hear about or would like to discuss on future calls, let us know in the comments on YouTube or on X, and we'll try and include them in upcoming calls. Without further ado, I will kick things off with the top of mind from Deepthi, so let me just bring you up to the stage. Hey Deepthi, welcome.
Hey everyone. Thanks, Rebecca. Hey everyone. Thank you for joining us today. I'm happy that we've set up this series of community calls to share all of our work that we're doing. At a high level, there's quite a bit moving across MENA right now. Important protocol work, major developer tooling improvements, lots of ecosystem projects making progress. So I'm happy that we're going to describe more in detail in the rest of the call. One thing that has been top of mind for us as co-CEOs of o1Labs is that the broader crypto and Web3 industry is moving more and more towards institutional and enterprise adoption. The conversations are starting to become less about abstract potential and more about real infrastructure, credible use cases, regulatory clarity, and institutional readiness, right? And so over the past few months, we've been spending like a lot of time talking to developers, ecosystem teams, enterprises, investors, and other leaders across the space. And we've also been looking closely at where demand is forming, where MENA's unique strengths matters the most, and where ZK can move from being impressive technology to something that adds value to the systems and applications that people actually use, right? So, and we're spending all this time on exploratory work to make sure MENA's direction is grounded in evidence and not just our intuition. And what continues to stand out in these conversations is that MENA has a distinct role to play. Its succinctness, lightweight verification, infrastructure, not only enables trustless interaction and is privacy preserving, like we keep talking about MENA, but it also provides properties like portability of proofs, like succinct proofs kind of encodes multiple computations, and all of that is represented by a single proof. So it's more portable in that sense. And we're exploring some of that property. In addition to that, ZK apps is also tamper-proof, right? And because you encode the logic once, and both the parties have to, all the parties involved will know any changes made to it. And so it's while being privacy preserving. And so we're kind of exploring these different properties that can be applied in an institutional setting. A lot of the discussions has revolved around how ZK can add value within existing systems and applications, especially given some of these properties. So yeah, it's been extremely useful talking to a wide variety of people, and we'll continue doing more of that and incorporate all of the learnings back into how we make decisions. I want to take this opportunity to share that o1Labs is committed to communicating more openly, giving more visibility into what's moving, and continuing to build towards a future where MENA's technology is not only technically differentiated, but also relevant to real-world needs. And I also want to give a shout out to our engineers who engage on Discord with community members and ecosystem project teams, and who make sure their feedback and ideas are reflected in what we built. So I'm excited to have the team walk you through what's been shipping. And yeah, so thank you so much for continuing to follow our progress. And as always, please share your valuable feedback. Thank you. I guess I'll hand it over to Becky or Shami.
Yeah. I'll add Shami to the stage. She's going to share the latest update on Mesa. Thanks, Deepthi. I will hand over straight to you, Shami. Over to you.
Okay. Hey, everyone. So I have some great news to share today. I'm going to recap first what we've been up to the last couple of weeks/months. So as you know, we finished implementing all MIPs. Everything for Mesa is ready code-wise, and we've done extensive testing in a variety of formats to make sure everything is working as we expect it to. And we finally have a code freeze where we stopped adding code changes, and we have a release candidate in place for Mesa. So this is already tagged and ready to go, and we've tested the release candidate on a full-blown cluster test run, and also we did a dry run from Berkeley to Mesa using the release candidate as well. We've already updated the pre-flight Mesa testnet as well with this last release candidate version. I think we did this April 28th. This was announced in Discord, so you should already be aware of it. We've been working a lot on documentation, so we are preparing docs for the Mesa Trail. I will get more of it into this now. And the Mesa upgrade docs in the MENA protocol documentation itself. I'd like to double click a bit on what load and cluster testing is, because I think this is quite important. So it's an automated test suite, basically, where we run a variety of different tests with different loads and configurations. And this runs for over a week every time we do it. And it's super, super exhaustive. And I want to highlight that since we started doing this, not only did we understand the out-of-memory issue we detected last year that we've already communicated, but in the last maybe 2 months, we identified and fixed 9 different issues that probably would have affected us during the actual upgrade. Some not, but in general, for each one of these, we triaged them and understood how critical or high priority they were to fix before they were included into the release candidate. So there's extreme value in this, and we are very, very happy with the results we've had so far. And I also like to highlight that so far we've done 12 full dry runs for the upgrade in different configurations. We started out with very basic ones. We've even done dry run number 10. We call it the chaos dry run, where we tested everything that could possibly go wrong that came to our minds to prepare for emergency scenarios as well. So we completed 12, and now we're going into number 13, which is another company-wide dry run where we're all participating in it. All this to say that yesterday we all sat together and agreed that we have a go to start Mesa Trail. So next slide, Becky, please. So Mesa Trail is the first open public upgrade that we're going to run from Berkeley to Mesa with everyone. It's a full-scale Mesa upgrade testnet, which will simulate the mainnet hard fork entirely, end-to-end. So as I mentioned, we start from a Berkeley state and we upgrade to Mesa. We will use the Mesa release candidate, of course, which includes the automated upgrade mechanism, the auto mode, and everything we've changed from Mesa, right? This is open to everyone. But we will launch a Trailblazer program. So Trailblazer program is a incentivized testnet. It's the same testnet, but it's an incentivized group of people who we are calling to action, let's say, across diverse geographies, experienced node operators with different hardware configurations. So it's a variety of different criteria for people that we are outreaching to. And the goal is to validate the automated upgrade process under real network conditions, of course, and monitoring the block production consensus, performance, and stability as we go. We will also be testing everything related to ZkApps, because this hard fork will require a redeployment of ZkApps after it. So developers will be invited to deploy before and after the network upgrade and battle test the ZkApps as well. Trailblazer program will run from 21 days, starting June 1st, if all goes well. We will have a go, no go call for the launch of the program on May 28th. So you will have further communication about all of this there. Next slide, Becky, please. Finally, I would like to do an overview of what the upgrade actually implies. So this will affect the Trailblaze, the Mesa Trail, the Devnet upgrade, and also the mainnet upgrade. So it's just a review of the steps, so we're all aware of what happens during the actual upgrades. So the upgrade has 4 steps, right? The first one is the pre-upgrade. This starts when we release the pre-Mesa build. This release includes the stop transaction slot and stop network slot configurations, and the auto mode packages. During this phase, you will all need to install this release. So at this point, also, if you're archive node operator, you can upgrade the schema. The migration of the schema is retrocompatible, so you can do it at any time before the hard fork. So the earlier you do it, the better, so you don't have to do anything during the hard fork itself related to upgrading the schema. By the way, we will need 90% of active stake to upgrade before stop transaction slot, so we will be monitoring and tracking the upgrade percentage as well. Once we reach stop transaction slot, state finalization step begins. So at this point, blocks will reject all transactions. Block production should continue for at least 100 more slots with empty blocks. This means no Coinbase, no fees, until the stop network slot to ensure all nodes converge on the same state. If you're a block producer, you need to keep running your nodes during this phase. Like block density is critical during finalization. At stop network slot, that this happens 5 hours later, so we have 5 hours between stop transaction slot and stop network slot. This is a point where everything holds, right? And here, upgrade step starts. So we will be generating Mesa packages as soon as this starts. This will be released around an hour and a half after the stop network slot. And you'll have an extra hour and a half to install the packages and upgrade before Mesa network is deployed. So you have 3 hours total between stop network slot and Mesa starting up. And if you're using auto mode, you don't need to do anything at all at any point in this process, by the way. Auto mode is available for operators running daemons and block producers, but not for archive node operators or anyone running Rosetta. Like, this is super important. As a block producer, you can choose between auto mode or manual mode, but we encourage you to choose auto mode because it will like minimize risk, and also you don't need to actually do anything other than monitor. After the network goes back up, upgrade step starts. So here the first Mesa block is produced. We run all the validations to ensure everything is running as expected. And there may be some lagging block producers which will need to upgrade manually at this point. During the Trailblazer program, we will test this scenario with block producers updating at different points in time after blocks are being produced. So I guess the next steps for everyone is, like, at this point, look out for announcements, messages, and emails regarding the Mesa Trail, and join the network when it's available. If you're participating in the Mesa Trailblazer program, start going through the onboarding material when you get it, and we'll keep you posted with news.
Thanks so much. Thank you. Next up, we have Raf with an update on Protokit. Hey, Raf.
Hey, guys. Yeah, so I think like most people have already seen it on socials. We successfully launched Protokit for Devnet, I think like last week. So yeah, I think like Protokit has been around for a long while. So like, let me give you like kind of short refresher on what Protokit actually does. And so kind of to like give a bit of history, like the project started nearly 3 years ago as kind of a community project where kind of, Mina does a few things very well, but we wanted to enable like a new class of applications for Mina. And so kind of out of the community, kind of we invented Protokit. And so kind of over the years, we developed it like first independently, then part of Mina Foundation, and now since like 6 months ago, inside of o1Labs. And so finally, after all this time, we got to like this first huge milestone, which is like Devnet readiness. And so part of that was like a lot of work. But yeah, we kind of kept true to like our original promise that we set out to kind of do. And so that was pretty much keep all the nice properties that Mina already had. So, being like this succinct blockchain, having this recursive proof ability, and yeah, like these kind of constant cost transactions, but also like, expand them with a few new things, and Protokit does that. And so like mainly those are things like on-chain execution over like shared state. So that enables like these kind of traditional smart contract applications where multiple users kind of interact with the same like global truth, and so therefore can kind of sharedly compute over that. And so yeah, that's like a big kind of new class of applications. And so kind of the way we do that is by building this roll-up layer 2 framework. And yeah, so like a few things that we actually ship using that is like we have 3 modes pretty much for execution. So like this layer 2 mode, we have a hybrid mode that kind of gives you better properties, but it's like a little bit slower than the layer 2 mode. And we have the standalone mode that just lets you kind of use Protokit as a like execution and proving engine. And so like all of that is out now. And yeah, I think that's about it. So next slide, please. Yes. So what can you build with Protokit? Like as we said, like at the beginning, kind of we wanted to enable this like new class of applications, and so that means all the traditional ones that I mentioned that like have kind of this smart contract like feel, but at the same time, since we preserved all the nice properties of Mina, we are, for example, privacy enabled by default. So like you could kind of augment like existing kind of paradigms and architectures with like some new privacy preserving techniques, or you could invent completely new one, because like Protokit from the ground up is like designed to be super flexible and modular. So like you can replace any part of it that you don't like and like add something in that you just invented. So like an example for that would be, for example, like custom order matching for like kind of like decentralized order books, for example. Or like kind of the list goes on and on. Like there's so many things that you could go out and like explore with that. And yeah, Protokit kind of gives you all the tools to do that. Yeah, so yeah, we kind of we built over the last few months, and like a lot of work has happened behind the scenes of the framework, but also like a bunch of like visible stuff has happened. So like probably the obviously most visible one is the docs page. So like we completely revamped that. We rewrote like most of the docs from the ground up to kind of reflect this new kind of way of thinking, and also kind of let all the kind of updates that we made over the past few months kind of be reflected in the docs. Also the starter kit, like we completely rewrote that with kind of more like simplicity in mind, while also kind of keeping all of the flexibility that Protokit offers. And so kind of like you can like use the starter kit with the new Protokit version. Right now it's live on GitHub, and yeah, you should check that out as kind of the first entry point for your developer journey. Yeah, and so obviously Devnet kind of is a big milestone, but what comes after that? So I think like the biggest thing that we want to do after Devnet is kind of listen to the community, see what things get built, and therefore kind of what we should prioritize in like the coming months. Which types of features people want, where we should like make some improvements for things that might not be polished for now. So that's going to be the main thing. And then, after that, we obviously need to do a lot of kind of stability improvements. And also one of the most crucial parts until we can kind of start talking about mainnet is obviously an audit of the complete code base and all the circuitry and all that kind of like mission critical stuff pretty much, and make sure that everything's secure, that in case people deploy it on mainnet with like live funds and like crucial data, and that nothing goes wrong. So like kind of as kind of like kind of the last but not least, I kind of wanted to thank everybody that kind of contributed to Protokit over like the last 3 years, which it's been an amazing journey so far, and like so many people have kind of wrote code, gave us feedback, wrote applications on Protokit, and like we've met so many people being excited about this technology. That's just been amazing. And so yeah, thank you for that, and thank you for all the support that we got throughout the years. Yeah, and now we're kind of excited for this new chapter to get more feedback from you guys, make it even better, see what applications actually get launched and kind of see the light of day in the end. And yeah, so kind of as next steps, so how can you get started? Obviously, visit our docs on protokit.dev, and that's a good entry point. Also, there you can find the link to our starter kit and also obviously to the framework. And for new like updates for everything that's kind of roadmap related, follow o1Labs and Mesa Protocol on X. Also join the Discord. We have a dedicated Protokit channel there where we will try to add more context and give more updates as well. Thank you, everybody.
Thanks, Raf. I've just shared a link to the Protokit blog in the channel as well. So if you want to learn more, you can read up on that. Thanks, Raf. I will now bring up Florian, who's going to give an update on o1.js. Hey, Florian.
Cool. Hey, thank you. So yeah, this section is dedicated to the latest release of o1.js. It went out, I think, last week. It's 2.15.0, and this one is actually, even though it's a smaller release, it's actually quite packed, I guess. Next slide, please. So the native prover was probably one of the most requested features by the community over the past many months, up to a year. It's a very, very big unlock, and we are super happy to be able to finally release it. People are using it, and it's a massive performance upgrade for o1.js, and it's literally the biggest performance upgrade in the entire history of o1.js, which is very cool. So what it is, it's essentially we are swapping out the WebAssembly bindings layer for a direct interface to native proving and execution through Rust, specifically for server environments. What that means is instead of executing o1.js on the server through WebAssembly, you're now just like running raw Rust code, which is much more efficient, much faster, and you definitely feel these benefits in o1.js as a user and also as a developer. So if you're using o1.js 2.15.0 with the new native prover, you will feel about 2 to 2.5 times faster proving and compilation as well, which is quite a very, very big improvement actually. That's not the only thing. In addition to swapping out the WebAssembly layer for the native prover, you also get rid of the 4 GB memory limit. That is a very nice thing. ZK proofs, when you generate them, they consume a lot of memory. We have had some memory issues in the past, and with the native prover, we are also kind of like lifting that limitation as well. So instead of like only having access to 4 GB of memory for o1.js, you now essentially have access to an unlimited amount of memory, essentially much higher than the 4 GB memory limit. And because we have now gotten rid of that 4 GB memory limit, we can also now generate larger circuits by using chunking. So native prover doesn't only make things faster, it also makes things bigger. So by delivering chunking, people can now write circuits that are much more complex, much bigger by leveraging chunking. Essentially, the previous versions, they only supported 2 to the power of 16 constraints, and now we support up to 2 to the power of 18 constraints, which is a massive improvement, essentially. And you can now effectively, very easily write very complex applications like ZK Passport, for example, ZK Email, and things like that. And in addition to that, you don't even need to do any code changes. The native prover, it just ships, you import the new package, and it just works out of the box, which is also very nice for people that want to upgrade. Next slide, please. So who is it for? If you're building any sort of ZK app, any ZK program, any standalone application, or specifically any server-side proving infrastructure, potentially bridges or things like that, with o1.js, you have to upgrade. There's no reason not to upgrade. It's essentially a no-brainer. You don't get any disadvantages for using the native prover on the server. It's literally faster, better, nicer, and more efficient, and it's literally a no-brainer for you. So yeah, how to get started? Take a look at our o1js.dev website on the native prover subpage. You will find more information about the project, what's happening, how it actually works, what you actually can do with it. There's also a small guide on how to install the native prover. Essentially, you install the latest o1.js version 2.15.0, and then you install the native proving bindings as a package as well, and then you set the backend, and then it works. So what's next? We're exploring further speedups o1.js. There's also some things we can do in WebAssembly. I've been looking into memory 64, which is essentially lifting the WebAssembly memory limitations so that we can also let developers use chunking, larger circuits in the browser as well, and also making proving and compilation in the browser faster as well. We're actively working on o1.js. In addition to everything I just mentioned, we are also working on o1.js 3.0, which is the o1.js version that will accompany the upcoming Mesa hard fork. So whenever you have a ZK app deployed, after the hard fork, you'll have to install the new o1.js 3.0 version in order to upgrade your ZK app. And then once that's upgraded, you can also then leverage the new protocol features like increased on-chain state, increased account update limits, increased actions and events. And you also then have full access to the new Mesa upgrade right inside your ZK apps. Follow o1Labs on it's called X now. I still like to say Twitter. So follow o1Labs on Twitter for updates. And there's still a lot of stuff happening, and I'm super excited. Thank you.
Thanks, Florian. We just shared a link to the o1.js 2.15.0 blog in the chat as well. And I'm sure if you have any questions, you can find Florian on X as well as the o1Labs account. Thanks, Florian. I will hand over to Harash, who's going to give us the ecosystem updates now as well. Hey, Harash.
Hey, thanks, Becky. So there has been a lot of work done in the ecosystem over a period of many, many months. So I'm very happy to present the milestones and the highlights of the teams who we've been supporting. So first up, we have Zeko. The Zeko team is preparing for mainnet. They also have a number of AI and agentic use case primitives, which they will be releasing very soon. And one of them is ZkX402, which is now live on Base and Ethereum. So this allows to settle payments via ZK proof for workflows which support it. The second update is from the ZK bridge built by the Nori team. So they are code complete. And the good news is now they're undergoing an audit with the security firm Zelic. So this should be done over the period of, I believe, 6 or 8 weeks. So there should be a result from that pretty soon. Moving forward, we have a threshold-based multi-signature wallet based on Frost signatures. This is, again, code complete. And we are discussing the audit timelines for this. And that should move to audit phase soon. Moving on to wallets, the Oro team has been consistently updating both their web extension and their mobile application. The list of the updates is pretty long, so please go read the release notes and check it out. The Gloria team is now preparing to release a new browser extension wallet, and I believe this is already on the Chrome store, so it's in beta. So please go try it out, and if you have any feedback, drop a note in the channel. I'm sure both me and the team will be very happy to hear about your experience. ZK Roll is a game which is built and released by the community member Nama. So it's a game, of course, but it's also a very useful open source implementation which uses the native prover, which you just saw Florian talk about. And there has been evident performance gains of integrating it. It's also a great reference implementation to see how a progressive web app can be built on Mina. There are also a few more things you can learn from it, such as integration of Wallet Connect SDK and many more features. So please go try it out. The Ledger app, the Zonex team has now submitted a Ledger app that supports ZK app signing. So this should be on the store pretty soon, so you can upgrade it. Moving on, we have a Mina provider API. This is slated to be an MIP. So this is under draft and under discussion on the Mina Research Forum. And this is also being supported by the wallet teams and drafted by Ali. So if you have any comments on this, please hop on. It would be very helpful. And last, we have Wizard Battle from the ZkNoid team on mainnet, but I will let the team share the details about this. So I just wanted to thank everyone to continuing to build and hack on Mina. I will pass it over to Anthony.
Yeah, hey guys, thank you. ZkNoid just launched our flagship competitive GIF game on Mina mainnet. At its core, Wizard Battle is a turn-based PvP and PvE strategy game where players battle each other using one of 3 unique wizard classes. But what makes Wizard Battle truly different is the infrastructure behind it. Because for us, ZK is about solving real problems in online competitive gaming. That's the problems of fairness, transparency, and trust. So at ZkNoid, we believe that competitive gaming is one of the strong use cases for ZK technology and Mina in total. Next slide, please. We launched Wizard Battle on mainnet in the beginning of May, and it's a huge milestone for our project. The mainnet version was heavily shaped by the community and all the feedback we gathered during its testnet stage. Based on the feedback, we were able to do some balance improvements, improve pacing within battles, refine matchmaking, and upgrade AI opponents, as well as, of course, introducing a new tournament system to the game. To celebrate this launch, we're currently running a series of mainnet tournaments where players can compete for prizes by battling each other in open PvP competition. These tournaments are free to join, leaderboard based, and focused on player skill and consistency. So if you're interested in competitive gaming, ZK technology, or just want to experience what verifiable gameplay feels like, we'll be happy for you to join the arena and try Wizard Battle for yourself. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Anthony, for joining. We've just shared a link to the Wizard Battle blog where you can learn more about it as well, and there's a couple of links in there where you can find the game. I think that's all of the updates we have for today, so thank you to everyone for joining. Thank you to the speakers. Like we said at the start, this is just the first in the Coffee and Commit series, so if you have feedback or other things that you'd like us to include in future editions, please let us know. You can learn about all of the updates we've shared today on the Mina Protocol and o1Labs blogs. We've also shared the links on X over the past few weeks. For regular updates straight to your inbox, you can also register for the newsletter. We look forward to catching up with everyone soon. We will share the schedule for the next one on X, so keep an eye out for that. Thank you, everyone, and see you next time.